To close out the year, the URSL decided to hold a special one-off event called the Sim Racing 500, which is essentially a full-distance Indy 500. It would be held in Automobilista 1 using the very popular Kart Extreme Enhanced mod, which essentially was based off the 1998 kart cars. As it was a one-off event, I didn't need to be a guest driver. I could join a team, and Josh Super Gazelle Kazar, the hero of Adelaide, had previously entered a team called Super Gazelle Racing, so he decided to revive that. He very kindly offered me a seat and title sponsorship, so we were Toll Super Gazelle Racing. Josh sadly couldn't participate himself, so I would be joined by some brand new teammates. I was joined by Adam Rajinsko, Bartosz Karpeta, and Dominic Kronsky. Dominic, the winner of the first race I took part in back in Kyalami. So, a field of almost 30 cars speeding around Indianapolis in 1998 kart beasts. I don't foresee any problem with this.
Here we are then, 1 hour 45 until the driver's briefing, and honestly, I woke up this morning feeling like like proper It's just very fluey. Like my head is just like, I'm a bit fuzzy. I'm not ideal. I've taken your standard painkillers and I'm feeling a bit better, but everyone is so hyped for this on the server, on like the RSL Discord server. But everyone to a T is aware that there's going to be murders. When the pack's bunched up, people will try and race, and with the best of intentions, I think there'll be a lot of racing incidents. Even being in the practice server, you see what it's like when you lose that downforce in the dirty air in the corner, and you've got to be so careful. I don't think my pace is that bad. Like, I think the fastest times are like 39.7s. I don't know if any of them benefited from a tow. My best times are 40.2, so about half a second off. That's just pretty good. I'm kind of where I would like to be. Mid to maybe top third, potentially. The speeds that you do around Indianapolis, one mistake and it's not going to like a spin and I'll carry on. It's just concrete wall, loose parts, game over. So, yeah, I'm going to get far through as I can. Yeah, and just hope for the best. This should be a fun one. I'm annoyed that I don't feel 100% because I'm really up for this one. I feel so old. Like, I'm literally I'm sat with a like it's bad enough that I sit on a dining room chair to do this, but I've put a cushion behind me today because I need that lumbar support, you know. Oh, I've not seen it in the game. Oh, hello. Title sponsor, baby. Toll Super Gazelle Racing. Oh, he's giving me, I've just noticed, he's giving me the Alacy helmet. Oh, Josh. Yeah, so I've got my lumbar support cushion. I've got ibuprofen, paracetamol. I'm due a dose up during the first pit stop. Oh, this is not going to go well, is it?
First of all, as always, I want to thank all of you for taking the time, to participate. This is a big event for us, will be the first live stream for the IBOS as a whole. Also, James is helping us, to make some more publicity with his channel, with his bigger reach. So also thanks to him. Thanks also to Simon, who volunteered to commentate and to stream this one. So if there are no more questions, I would let you return to your channels, have fun, and if there is something else, I will announce it by whisper. So good luck, have fun.
Evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Hi.
How are you both?
Pretty nervous.
Fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Interesting, very much the right word. And as soon as you get out on track, a reminder of why it will be interesting. You can see Lorenzo Turi up ahead. His livery hasn't popped in, so he's just got the shell at the minute. That will be fixed for the race. But shell or not, you see why it's going to be dangerous.
Lorenzo!
Watch your right. All clear.
Yeah, that's going to be the fun one, if someone just loses it in front of you and just trying to avoid getting collected.
Yeah, because even if you avoid it, you're not guaranteed to not be rear-ended.
True.
Although, can I just say, the liveries are fantastic.
Oh, they look so good, don't they?
Also, excuse my horrendous mic quality. I've been thinking of buying a new microphone, but I can't be asked to go to the store.
That's alright. Oh, that's one to look out for.
Just over 11 minutes to go in practice. Lorenzo now has his proper livery in, and another little warning about the sort of things you need to look out for and how little time you have to think. Come round to the exit turn 2 onto the back straight. We have one driver coming out of the pits, and Lorenzo is about to go into the pits. So then there's this moment of indecision. I'm not sure. Do I just overtake both? Do I wait? And the thing is, it's fortunate that, you know, both people kind of yield. In a race situation, that might not be the case. You really just have to make a decision and stick with it. You dither, and you'll end up crashing.
Oh, I am P2.
You bastard. Well, at least that gives us some hope that one of us can actually win.
Oh, fuck,
On your
that
right.
was
On your
scary.
line. Clear. Car left. Clear left. Race controllers warned us for cutting the track.
Sorry, Adam, if I caught you then. That.
Picking up someone's slipstream is suicidal. Good God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being
It's going to be interesting to see what pole's going to be when obviously it's private and no one's getting the benefit of anyone else's like slipstream.
I did my left without slipstream.
Yeah, I think the high 39s are still reachable, even though I'm
blue
slipstream.
flag. Parked car approaching.
I must admit, this news disappointed me. I was hoping that I would be closer because other people had slipstream. Oh well, if I'm not going to be quick in qualifying, at least I have my survival skills to get me far in the race.
Car left. Clear right. Right side. All clear.
Wow. Wow, that was a good one.
Yeah, okay, maybe better survival skills required. Lesson: don't do a Kimi Räikkönen when you see trouble up ahead. It doesn't always end as well as it did for him. Yeah, I don't think the F1 Twitter account will be showing that clip again and again if that's what happened. Anyway, end of practice, and pretty good from everyone considered. Adam and Dominic 7th and 8th respectively, almost 4/10 or just under 4/10 off the pace. I'm 13th, just under 8/10 off the pace. Bartosz had another event before participating in this one, so he didn't set a time.
So we are going to jump into qualifying now. 10-minute session, private session, so you are alone on track, you don't see any other cars. Good luck and have fun.
Qualifying was a very quiet, concentrated affair for everyone involved. It's a very simple track, sure, just 4 left turns, but it could take a lifetime to perfect and get right. And I was struggling, down in 17th, down on where I'd been in the practice server and in practice, struggling to get things right. Although on this lap, I'm 2/10 up and feeling good about it, despite that little glance of the wall there.
I was 2/10 up and my engine set on fire. Damn.
Yeah, unfortunately that's not a rarity during this session.
So, 1 minute to go, rounding turn 4. This would be my final lap, and it would be my best lap in qualifying. here we go. Not really much to give you a track guide on, really. It's just how you take these 4 corners. Yes, you can take them flat depending on your setup, but you do scrub off a lot of speed. I just lift off a little bit before turning in, make sure you hit the apex, and then obviously get on the throttle again as early as possible and run the car as wide as you can to carry through the speed, and that's it. It is that simple, but it's very fine margins, little room for error. I don't know what it was about turns 3 and 4. I really struggled to get them consistently right. And you see here, I kind of get a bit of a shallow angle into turn 4, scrub off a lot of speed, and even though I kind of end to turn 4 a tenth up, I'm losing speed all the way down this straight, which means I only gain a very little bit. It moves me up to 20th, which as you can see, I'm not particularly happy with. But by the time the results come in, I finish 21st in qualifying. Not particularly happy about that, but when you look at it, I'm 8 tenths away from the fastest time, just as I was in practice. Similarly again, Adam and Dominic are 11th and 12th, but they're still around 4 tenths away. So actually, it's just other people showed their hand. We didn't get any slower.
I mean, okay, it is a pretty straightforward racetrack, but oval racing is a different type of skill.
Yeah. Just this order, if it ends even remotely looking like this at the end of the race, I'll be very surprised.
I mean, we know that Indy is all about the winner. Nobody cares about second and third place, but I'm going to treat it a bit like Isle of Man, where if you survive, you can feel like a winner.
With the exception of like the fuel and the rev limiter, have you guys made any changes to your race setup, or is it just pretty much the same?
Pretty much the same. I only increased the radiator and obviously lowered the revs, yeah.
So as ever, warm up the opportunity to get your eye back in with your race setup. I left the pits about 90 seconds into the session. My goal was to simply just run for the entirety of the session. Didn't want to have any issues, just try long run as long as you can run for a 10-minute session. And that's what I did. I didn't really come into contact with anyone. And by contact, I mean not even barely seeing anyone. I was pretty much running solo. Crossing the line now to put in what was my fastest lap of the session. And see, I'm running in the top 10 at this point in terms of times. And then with a few minutes to go, I came in for the pit entry. Practiced a lot of this, both pit exit and pit entry. Didn't want to get through everything else and then throw it away on something silly like this. I wanted to know the limit of how comfortable I felt taking, the corners while running on the entry. Third gear was pretty much how I felt comfortable. Despite that slide, that's pretty much the limit. And then make sure you get it slowed down, 60 miles an hour, limit on, by this line, and then hit your pit box. I was quite happy with how the warm-up went. As long as I could look after my patch of road, I'd be okay. Admittedly, that is easier said than done, but this is what things look like at the end of warm-up. Adam, once again, the pace setter for our team in 9th. I was 10th, very happy, only half a second off the race pace of the leaders. Very good indeed. Dominic in 12th, and then Bartosz, who joined us after his other event, who missed qualifying. He'd start from the back, but he was 16th, just a second off the pace. So here we go then, time for the race. Just the 200 laps and 500 miles. What could possibly go wrong? So, the 4 of us racing for Josh's Toll Super Gazelle team. Bartosz unfortunately had some issues, so he couldn't get in the TeamSpeak server, so he was racing with us, but couldn't hear him. Just in with Adam and Dominic. Here is my Sim Racing 500 with interjections from race director Alexander Knezovic.
When you are on the back straight, hold 160 kph or 100 miles per hour. And just wait for the green signal from the game.
Now, despite what Alexander just said there, you can see there's quite a big gap forming, so I kind of went slightly over 100 miles an hour, but I didn't want to hold the people behind me, and I also didn't want to be miles back from the start. So managed to catch up with the train. Lucas having to drop down because I think he had some contact with other people. The start was a little bit messy even before it went green, and after it went green, we'll get there. Anyway, so coming round, I'm going to set off in second gear because I did not feel comfortable, didn't want to wheel spin it and have the issues. I'd happily be slow, but just
That's the green flag.
in the
Go,
race,
go, go.
and we go green at Indianapolis. As you can see, slow start. Bartosz with an incredible start. He's about to appear on our right-hand side and get round the outside of us. Great start from him. Already issues. I'm just happy to stick to the inside. Again, don't mind losing places in this early phase, as long as at the end of this early phase I'm still running. Mark and Bartosz, how they touched here and kept going, I'll never know. And all of a sudden we've got a wall of 4 cars. I've got slipstream. I could be quicker, but I'm letting off the throttle. I'm happy to sit behind them.
Combat. Clear.
Francesco, you can retire the car.
Yeah, my engine died.
Caution, caution, caution.
That was the shortest Indy race of my life. Wow.
So what, your engine just blew?
It blew the moment I
Careful,
was
Lorenzo.
collected by
On the
car
straight, there are
from
cars
outside.
standing there. Reduce your pace.
And as Alex is warning about that, another incident under safety car. So, since our race director was talking while Dominic was explaining what happened, let's go back and see. So we are following Dominic now. You can see Adam just on his inside, and they both get pretty good starts. Dominic especially looking very racy, but the two Super Gazelle teammates go side by side into turn 1. You can see a lot of incidents and accidents happening around them, but pretty nice and clean, and then they follow each other down the back straight, so not too bad at all. You can see a little bit of jostling in the background, but pretty clean, nothing to worry about. Everything seems in hand. Coming into turn 3, Dominic gets a big dose of what it's like following in the dirty air. Big slide, manages to catch it, but then unfortunately a car coming back across track in turn 4 tries to take evasive action, and well, it's kind of hard to see the full story from that one. Just a mesh of cars all going into one spot. He's got no wing, heads into the pits, and unfortunately his engine dies from there. You can see a lot better what happened here, and it's actually something he warned about when we were talking in practice. Something happened ahead of him, he backed off to avoid it, and then unfortunately he got rear-ended. If he'd not been hit from behind, he probably would have avoided the car right in front of him. Big shame. Let's look at it from Adam's perspective. This is back straight, lap 1, and he had a similar situation to me. He probably has the slipstream to maybe try and make a move on Dominic, but obviously doesn't want to. Leaves the door open for someone to try to go around the outside, but he holds him off. Then he looks to the inside on turn 4 and nearly gets away with it, and it looks like he's through. But there, you see, he seems to get a touch. It might be netcode, or it might be the fact that it's just my replay and not the server replay. You can see it a lot clearer from here, but actually there isn't contact. But it looks like his car reacts to something. As you can see, he's past the incident there, nice and clearly. But then there's just a change of direction there that takes him up. Like I say, it could be netcode, it could be an issue with, you know, it's my replay. It's not the server replay, this is just my own replay, so it might just be the positions being slightly off. But here we have, unfortunately, 2 Super Gazelle cars heading into the pits without wings. Sadly, none of it any of their faults. Anyway, here's my first lap again. You can see Bartosz in the background of the picture. He's overtaken 3 people before he even gets into turn 1. A great start from him to sweep round the outside. Like I said, I was very happy just to play it cool, play it safe, just try and stay out of the way of people, which meant in this case staying low. Again, you get a view of that contact between Mark and Bartosz. Again, I just still can't believe that they both kept going after that. It was almost a big moment there. And yeah, I just bide my time. I had a little bit of issues coming into this turn as well. I could feel that, you know, the dirty air was pulling at the car, but definitely not as big as some moments. And unfortunately, just for me and Bartosz, we arrive at the scene of this incident just long enough after that, you know, we can just drive through. Started 21st, up to 15th. Now, behind the safety car, lap 2, and, you know, we're just following, and then I see a car just drive past us. Wait for it, here it comes. No call from the race director. So I was a bit confused.
I don't understand why Salto was just overtook a load of people on the main straight. He's up in 9th now, but he was behind me at the start of the safety car.
I don't think he's supposed to unlap. Well, if he was lapped, I don't know if he was, but he's supposed to wait if he's wanting to unlap himself until Knizia called it out. What was it? Press I and have him investigate what he just done.
Yeah, I might ask the question.
Ash, what happened?
I just have a question. Salto,
Yeah.
I'm sure we were like following him behind the safety car, and he's overtaken a load of people. He's in 8th. I don't know if I've missed something there. I just
Salto? Okay.
Yeah. Just have a look at that, please.
Okay, I do. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think it's over.
What you done too, Adam?
I have broken suspension.
Oh, no way.
Oh yeah, it's hovering like mad. You can see that.
There we go.
But good luck on the restart.
Oh, cheers, man.
Caution will end this lap. Wait for my signal on the start-finish straight. Caution will end this lap. Green, 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 green.
Right side. Watch your right. Car right.
What
On
was
your
that?
left. Clear right.
Immediately, someone like a concertina. I think Bartosz has maybe hit Mark.
Yeah, Bartosz misses from win and he's spinning. That is so terrifying, seeing the car in front of you going sideways through the corner.
I know. I just.
But scares aside, we start lap 7. We've survived the start and the restart, gained 9 places, no damage, and on we go. We've barely scratched the surface of this race. Next time, we continue the story of what happened. Half of the Super Gazelle Racing team have unfortunately been struck down. Can the remaining 2, me and Bartosz, keep going? And also maybe leave survival mode and go into sort of being a racing driver almost. Imagine that. That'd be nice. The story continues next time. See you then.